Hi, Miss Amina. Thank you for joining me to have this conversation with you about well-being for our students and how can parents support their children during this time and navigate through online learning. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your role?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ms. Sabina, for having me. I'm really excited to be here. My role in the school is that of a school counselor, and I work with students grades 6 to 12, but also with families and specifically parents and guardians, as well as teachers and their well-being.
Okay, so you are the best person to have this conversation with. So there's lots going on, and our students are stressed. How can parents, what are the signs that parents need to look out for, to notice that disengagement, that stress, that anxiety that's building up with the kids?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing that we will notice is obviously the low moods, how our child reacts or the student is reacting. We also want to look out for, eating and sleeping habits. If they aren't sleeping as they regularly would, low appetite is another very big sign. And also just being able to do their regular hobbies or interests. So if you find your child is not as keen as doing their hobbies as they used to be, then that could also be a sign that something might be going on, and it's a good time to have an open conversation about what is it that's happening.
And our kids nowadays, they have access to social media at their fingertips, and navigating that is very easy for them, and they're exposed to so much news. So how can we manage that as parents? Because that in itself brings so much stress and uncertainty for them.
You are absolutely right. With specifically with children and adults, I think it's very important to have honest conversations about what's happening. But we don't want to overexpose them to a lot of media. A lot of media is also not necessarily always true. So you do want to give them the honest answers, but not overexpose them. It can lead to a lot of frustration and overwhelm, and also feeling of powerlessness that there's so much going on and it's so much out of our control. So you do want to be very careful about that, and just make sure that you are having those honest conversations, but not overwhelming the child excessively with so much exposure to media.
Because it really does, at times, it will affect their mental health. The more that they are on social media and, looking at things, reading things, so how can we best support that? Is there something that parents should be doing? Is there something parents should not be doing?
So in that case, again, with where we were before, we want to be able to have honest conversation, no matter the age group, being able to just have those honest conversations and saying that there is some uncertainty and we are living in some uncertain times. So we want to be non-dismissive of that, but at the same time, how much of it do we want to expose them to? So with teenagers, we don't want to expose them to too much. There's a lot of information that's going around that might be a lot for them to handle. So we want to limit that. And again, there are many families sometimes that they are feeling so overwhelmed that they might have their television on the entire day. And again, that is something that you don't want to do. You don't want to expose your child to that much. Reaching out to media sources that are authentic and genuine is really important as well. But more than anything else, I think just being transparent, non-dismissive, and validating feelings is very important.
Thank you for that. It was the 28th of Feb that we all just stopped and came to online learning. Some of us have been able to navigate through it fine. Some of the kids are really enjoying being at home. Some, their feelings are going through the roof, cannot sit still on the laptop, etc. So, how can parents best support their well-being, their child's well-being at home during this time of online learning?
So you want to remember that balance is so important. You do want your child to be in those classrooms and able to attend, but you also want to make sure that they have good breaks. You're wanting to ensure that their eating and sleeping patterns are very much the routine that they were used to. You don't want to go off routine too much. You want to be a little bit flexible, but structured, but but some flexibility. Making sure that they have enough time for outdoor play. I know that things are uncertain, but if there's something that you can do, maybe a walk around your neighborhood, that would be something that would be nice. Or even just spending a family quality time together, that we are in this together and we're here for each other. I think that really matters to the child.
We can only speak from a perspective of secondary students. So as parents navigating this time with them, what kind of support mechanisms or structures or different routines could we possibly put in place that they feel they are being supported?
I think really important is that maybe have the child sit together with you and then discuss what the structure will look like. You want to mention that I do want us to have, a good time for your academics, but after once school is over at 2:45, then what do we do next? Do we do maybe, have lunch together? Maybe some playtime together? Do we go out for walks together? And those kind of things. You want to be able to have them partake in this structure so that they feel like they are part and they really want this aspect to it. Again, it's really important that they also have time with their friends, because online learning doesn't necessarily mean that they are social. So you want to be able to keep time for that, but also keep time for family, also give them structure with sleep, eat, and of course play. I think the balance is so important, play and work.
It is difficult times, and the older the kids get, it becomes more difficult trying to balance their emotions, their academics, and especially with the current situation. What is the best advice that you could give to a parent that is having a child that is just resistant and is just disengaged with being at home, being online? What is the best advice or solution or mechanisms that a parent can put in place to support that child?
I think it's so important that, again, with the open conversations that we're having, just making sure that there are small, manageable tasks that the child is able to do. So you don't want to overwhelm them with a lot, because sometimes, being online, having your academics on the way that it was is not practical at this point. So just making sure that we are keeping it authentic and saying, what, I understand you can't do 100%, but what can we do right now? Can we do, let's say we break this up into smaller chunks and then really celebrate the small wins. So for example, if your child is able to complete that little task that you've given them, then maybe you can start working up from that, and then also celebrate the fact that we've done it, and now what else can we do? Again, you want to be able to keep honest and open communication. So, okay, I understand you're very resistant. Why is there resistance? Is there something happening? Then just seeing if there's something more to it. Sometimes we see the child as being very difficult to get through, but a lot of the times it's not that they're difficult. It's just that they haven't found the right words to express how they're feeling right now, and that's causing them sometimes to shut down. Then that conversation really helps as well. And also validate it, right? I understand you are feeling this way. Let us do this instead.
Yeah, I mean, because it's very difficult for the parents as well. Everyone is going through different feelings, emotions, but at the root of it, we do need to monitor our children and our students and their well-being. But what about the ones that the social bubbly ones at school, and all of a sudden we're now online learning and they're disconnected from their peers? How best can a parent support them?
Yeah, so just really encourage them and say, you used to be really social, what's going on? Again, you want to have that honest conversation. You want to make sure that you encourage them to get into their co-curriculars and their clubs that they used to enjoy, or any hobbies that they used to enjoy. Maybe even, like we mentioned before, with social circles online, meeting up with friends, maybe even playing a game, that can help them get back to where they used to be, because sometimes the screens feel so disconnected, and just for them to be able to get back on track. So maybe a lot of encouragement and just pushing a little nudge in the right corner, and have them conversate with your friends.
Yeah, thank you. One last question. What is the one piece of advice or key takeaway that you would give to a parent within this current situation?
I would say, again, just, honest conversation, being really transparent, structured but flexible, being empathetic, is so important. Just seeing where your child is coming from. I know a lot of adults also feel the same way. So, really think of this as we are in this together. It's not you versus me. And then just really celebrate the little wins that you have. Even though some days will be harder, but just celebrate the little wins. There's a saying that says little drops of water create an ocean. And I think that is what we should go with.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Amina. I know that you've run a lot of sessions. You've also put out a lot of media related to different centres that are, open and flexible to having parents come in and attend their workshops. Thank you for sharing that information, and thank you for everything that you're doing for our students and
Thank you.
the community. Thank
you so much for having me. And yeah, my absolute pleasure. I'm always here, just an email away. So in case your child feels like they might need help or any support, then we are absolutely here to support you however we can.
Thank you, Ms. Amina, our secondary counsellor.
Thank you as well.